Hello and welcome to the Gulf Coast Real Estate Insider Podcast. Today is Friday, April 3rd. It's Good Friday and Easter weekend. It's also Passover weekend, so we want to honor everybody that way. Now, we just got some news today. The Ellis Market Spread Index just came out today, and that number came down to 5,448. That's down another 30 units on top of 39 the week before and like 219 the week before that. So what that's telling us, inventory is dwindling. Buyers have less choices. We're just watching it go down. And the Ellis Current Market Index came out this week and it was at like 3.42. And the Luxury Market Index is at like 4.69. All good numbers. Yeah. So our market's really on fire. Sandy, I was talking to the title company the other day. And we had like 3 or 4 closings there. And she said, you won't believe this, but in March, they opened 151 new files. And so that's a phenomenal month. And she's like, we would never turn people away because it's new business and, and stuff. She said, but it's to the point where they're hiring somebody to send up policies. They're going to have to hire, because that's a lot of closings for a title company, just new files. That means a few March closings, probably, some April closings, maybe some May closings, but we're probably looking at some pretty good numbers, which means our indexes have been predicting this all along.
Well, yeah, and that was only one title company, so all the others are acting in the same way. I met a pest inspector at a property yesterday, and he said, I don't know when I can get the report back to you. I said, I'll get it back as soon as I can, and I ended up getting it late last night. But he said, I have one appointment right after the other today. It's going to be
I bet you these home inspectors are the same way.
Yeah.
Loan officers are probably really busy, although we are seeing some cash deals, so that's good.
That's true.
But the bottom line is the Southwest Florida real estate market is just really doing well. Now, you would think with the Iran war, with interest rates going up, oil going up, it would start to impact the market. But man, I'm not seeing that. I'm not hearing that from anyone just yet.
I don't think our consumer confidence in the real estate market is shaken at all.
Now, I did see an article. It was a headline. I didn't read the article. It was put out by Florida Realtors that talked about the rising rates could maybe start impacting buyers' decisions, but that might be true for the whole state. But you know what I'm thinking, and let me know if you agree or not. Southwest Florida was so beaten down when the rest of the state was doing great. We weren't, because we'd been hit by the hurricane. We had, all this stuff. And I just think it's our time to do well and to rise no matter what else happens in the state. Because if they're here and we're here, it needs to kind of equalize. Now, I know not everything is the same. For, waterfront communities may do better or worse than non-waterfront. But all the same, it's like I just felt like we were kind of beaten down, and now it's our time to shine. And yes, the war and interest rates might damper it a little bit, but when a rocket ship's going up, maybe it starts to slow down at a certain point, but it's still going up.
Well, and one just went up recently, right?
One did just go up, and I filmed that from my house.
I saw you did. That was pretty amazing. I love seeing that.
Check out my Facebook page if you want to see the rocket from what it looks like from Southwest Florida. That's always cool. Maybe we can get it on the Ellis page too or something. But,
so what I think too is back in 2020, or when we started seeing all the impacts of COVID, okay? And everybody wanted to be here. They could work from home, and now home could be someplace else. So our prices just kind of were like runaway prices here for a while. And then I think what happened after that is that our market stabilized. And I think those overpriced listings, anything that did not sell, came down. And therefore,
we didn't just stabilize. We reset the market because we went up too soon, too fast. And It was a phenomenon. It was COVID. It was the taxation. It was the freedom that Florida offered that other states didn't. It was other states closing down. It was companies saying you had to work remote. So people, of course, wanted to be here. But then when companies started calling people back, the economy was different. We had the fallout after COVID. The COVID money ran out. The government can only give out so much money so long. We were due for a reset. We did that. And then we got hit in 2022 by a major hurricane, which I think exacerbated because people had to fix up their properties. I mean, it just stalled sales. It stalled prices. When you've got a beat up property, people didn't want to pay those prices. So yeah, things slid back for a multitude of reasons.
Fear, fear if it would happen again, or fear of whatever. But I think that's kind of bad things happen everywhere. I mean,
okay, I'm just gonna laugh because
you're gonna laugh? Okay.
yeah, well, I do
I'm
like to
watching.
laugh.
You want to watch this?
I usually like to laugh at you, but
I know.
But this time I'm gonna laugh at something some people used to say back in 2022, 2023. I heard some people say, "Oh, I would never buy in Fort Myers." So why is that? Because you guys just got hit by a big hurricane, so I'm not into that. And I got to thinking, we hadn't been hit by Charlie hit in like 2006 or 7 or something like that, 2004. And we had Donna hit in 1960. Now Charlie didn't do that much damage because it wasn't a big hurricane. It did most of the damage up in Charlotte County. But statistically, we are no more likely to get hit in Fort Myers than anywhere else up and down any of those coasts, and yet they would buy there, but they wouldn't buy here. You could make the argument, if it hit here, it's probably not going to hit here again, so why would I go buy in Sarasota or Panama City or wherever else they're thinking? Because, what? Just because one hasn't hit there in so many years?
Well, I don't, for me, there's tornadoes in the Midwest. I listened to the weather today, and there's all kinds of bad weather expected there. They had that, what was it? I can't even say it right. Jericho or Duratio? I don't know. But anyway, it's like a...
Jericho?
No, I don't think that's it. But it's like a hurricane without all the seawater,
Yeah.
And there's earthquakes some parts of the country. There's all just different kinds of things. And yet,
there's peril wherever you could possibly live.
That's it.
My whole funny thing was, I don't think we're more likely to get here. Just because one came here doesn't mean the next 10 are coming here. In fact, it really doesn't happen for decades. But it could. Statistically, one could come here this year just as much as Panama City or Daytona Beach. So,
but a lot of the homes that had issues too did not have some of the things that we have installed today, or the building standards and codes and all those different kinds of things. So a lot of homes, even the ones being rebuilt on the beach, are being built to different standards.
That's why prices reset, because the homes that were built to the new codes fared much better, and homes that were significantly damaged have to be brought up to the new codes if they had over 50% damage to the dwelling. So a lot of these homes are getting either built up, rebuilt, refurbished, or whatnot, and it's making them more valuable. But when you're right in the crux of the crisis, the hurricane just hit, you've got a lot of homes that need work, and that caused prices to be what they are. But our market is stabilized now. In fact, it's going up, and you could make an argument that Southwest Florida is stronger now because we were hit, going on 4 years now, than we were before, because so many of our homes are hardened now. They're elevated now. They're to the new codes now. The heavily damaged homes are definitely in the new codes, or they're not there. You couldn't rebuild them. So,
well, and I think like your index and supply and demand just tells us that properties are moving readily off the market. So if you're thinking about selling, I would say give us a call. It's that time.
The Ellis team has had some good months here, and it's continuing. So the market's doing well, but you still have to price it correctly. We have that 21-day velocity window that we talk about. We've got an inventory vacuum right now, so just keep your eye on those indexes at topagent.com. We publish them weekly. Watch our videos, watch our updates, and just some exciting times. Anything else to talk about? We've got a holiday weekend here. I don't hear a lot of people talking about the war. They just want to get it over with. And I'm kind of in that boat too. It'd be nice to have a resolution and just move on, because this isn't a war that anybody wanted. I understand they had to maybe take care of some business and eliminate some nuclear threat and all that, but it's not something we wanted on our plate right now. It'd be nice to just get it off our plate, get interest rates and oil back down, and just kind of move on, because things were going pretty well, at least for us here in Southwest Florida.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think that will continue that way.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. You know?
Anything else you feel like we should talk about? Viewers, if you've got comments or items you want us to discuss, just leave a comment. We'll be happy to put it on next week's podcast. And
Well, and you might have a property that you have some questions about. Maybe we would even suggest having it inspected prior to putting it on the market. I know I went to an inspection this morning, and it was a plumbing inspection. It was kind of interesting. And then when I saw the pictures that they showed, it was kind of like the colonoscopy of a home, So this particular home was 60 years old, and the cast iron pipes beneath it were 60 years old, and they were in good shape, and they were fine.
something else we could talk about maybe on a future episode is what buyers expect of homes. Like, will they accept a 30-year-old roof? Will they accept a 20-year-old air conditioner? What about the water heater? What are their expectations, and what can sellers do to maximize their value, to meet those expectations, to get their home sold? Or is their home going to linger on the market? That sort of thing.
And will a buyer accept it? Maybe not the insurance company. So, those are things that we can talk to you about also. But if we get to see the house, we can probably give you some really good advice.
And here's the thing. No matter the market, and our market's doing pretty well right now, there will always be some unsold homes. It's because they didn't meet the market of the moment. They didn't meet either the price expectations, the market expectations, something with the buyer. Those homes tend to expire. If you're one of those frustrated sellers that still would like to sell, but you just didn't feel like you had the guidance, or you just weren't sure what the market was saying to you, give us a call. We've got the numbers. We've got the experience to kind of tell you, here's probably what the market was saying. What we won't have was the pleasure of marketing your home and knowing what the feedback was, but maybe we could kind of piece it together after the fact and kind of tell you, here's why we think it didn't sell, here's what you could do, and maybe give you a fresh approach to marketing it, bringing it to the market. I think that helps a lot. We've sold a lot of expired listings that way.
We certainly have, and sometimes it's such a little thing. Sometimes it's moving something around in the house a little bit, or taking something out of the house. It's a little tweak, and you go, oh my God, I wish I'd thought of that. It's just another set of eyes.
Sometimes it's the way it's marketed. They don't have everything filled out just correctly, or they're not promoting it correctly. So sometimes it's just.
I think some of those photos we get are exceptional too.
Photos matter.
Oh, they do.
But it's behind the scenes. It's how you have to have an understanding and appreciation for how AI chooses which listings to show. These big portals are using AI more and more. I feel like we are as close to an AI expert as there is in terms of how they're doing that. We make sure our listings are matching the market of the moment for the online portals to get your home that maximum exposure. So those are things we can talk about too. If you've got questions, we might have some answers for you. You can reach us at 239-489-4042. Check out those market reports at topagent.com. And thanks for tuning in to the Gulf Coast Real Estate Insider Podcast. We'll see you next week.